Shalom. One of the questions that I receive a lot is, who is the us in Genesis 1:26? Genesis 1:26 reads, "And God said, let us make man in our image." First we need to look at the Hebrew text and see, does this verse really say, let us make man in our image? In the Hebrew text this reads, Vayomer Elohim Naaseh Adam Betzalmenu. The word Naaseh is the verb asa, which means to make, or more literally to do, but often in the context of make. The first letter there is the letter nun, that's the na, and that means we will make. So yes, in this word we have we will make. In the word Betzalmenu, the last two letters, nu, means our. So that Betzalmenu would be translated as in our image. So we can see that from the Hebrew this is a correct translation. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image. But who is the us and who is the our in this verse? Let's take a look at the word Elohim. The word Elohim is a plural word. We know this because of the yod-mem suffix, the im at the end of Elohim. However, depending on the context of how this word is used, it can be a noun used in a plural or a singular sense. Let me explain by using this verse. Exodus 32 verse 1. Make us gods who shall go before us. Here we have the word gods. In the Hebrew this reads Elohim asher yelchu lifanecha. And that means Elohim which walked before us. Now here we see the word Elohim, which is a plural, but the verb is yelchu. Yelchu is the verb halach, meaning to walk, but the yod prefix and the vav suffix tell us that it's plural. So it's they walked. So here in this verse the word Elohim in the context is a plural word and used as a plural. Going back to Genesis 1:26, we see vayomer, the verb amar, which means to say. This includes the prefix va, which means and, but also the prefix yod, which is the yo in the word vayomer, which means he. It's singular. And he said. So the Elohim in the context of this verse is being used as a singular noun. So now we know that when the verse says, let us, Elohim is part of the us, but not all of the us. Let's take a look at Genesis 1:24. And Elohim said, let the land bring forth living creatures. What does this verse say? It says, let the land bring forth. In the Hebrew, totzeh haaretz nefesh chaya. The word totze is the verb yatsa, which means to bring forth, and the tav at the beginning of that tells us it's feminine singular. She will bring forth. The next word is haaretz. That's the prefix ha, meaning the, and then the word eretz. The word eretz means land, but it is a feminine, so the land is the she in she will bring forth. And so this verse says, and she will bring forth nefesh chaya, living creatures. Now the word nefesh is often translated as soul or being or person, but it means the being, the whole of the person or the whole of the entity. Also, if we look at Genesis 2 verse 7, and Yahweh God formed the man of dust from the ground. Where did man come from? The ground, the land. So we can see that man was formed by not only Elohim, but also the land. And Genesis 2 verse 7 continues, and breathed, who breathed? And who breathed? Yahweh Elohim breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. So here we can see in Genesis 2 verse 7 that man was made in the image of the land, but also in the image of Elohim through his breath.
He